Did you know that in 1934 something fascinating happened? The famous Loch Ness Monster photograph, known as the surgeon's photograph, was taken by Dr. Robert Kenneth Wilson. The image supposedly showed a large, serpent-like creature in the waters of Loch Ness in Scotland. Some people argued that the existence of this creature was undeniable because of this photograph. However, this reasoning was a prime example of a non-sequitur fallacy. The conclusion that the creature exists doesn't necessarily follow from the premise that a photograph was taken. The photograph itself was later revealed to be a hoax in 1994, further illustrating the importance of not falling for non-sequitur fallacies. Hey rational rebels! Welcome to the arena of reason, the very place we train our minds to spot cognitive pitfalls. This is Chris from Critical Conditioning, where we strive for cognitive precision and free our minds from that mental prison. Today, we're exploring the non-sequitur fallacy, a fallacy that occurs when a conclusion does not logically follow from the premises or evidence presented. We'll delve into the psychology behind this fallacy and how it can derail productive discussions and decision-making. Before we delve into this intriguing topic, remember to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell to stay updated with our mind-strengthening content. If you find our podcast valuable, consider supporting us through PayPal using the link in the description. Your support helps us continue our mission of promoting rational thinking. Also, please share this episode with someone you know who might be interested in understanding the non-sequitur fallacy. Supercharge your mind, hit subscribe, don't be left behind. Let's get started. Now, let's explore a couple of concrete studies that have been conducted on the non-sequitur fallacy. Study 1. In a 2016 study by O'Brien and Ellsworth, participants were asked to evaluate a series of arguments containing non-sequitur fallacies. The researchers found that participants often failed to identify these fallacies and, instead, were more likely to be swayed by irrelevant factors, such as the speaker's perceived credibility or the emotional appeal of the argument. Study 2. A 2011 study by researchers at the University of California, Berkeley, discovered that non-sequitur fallacies are particularly persuasive when they align with pre-existing beliefs. In this study, participants were more likely to accept non-sequitur arguments if they supported their own views, even when the logical flaws were pointed out. Here are 5 real-world examples of the non-sequitur fallacy that you might recognize. 1. Arguing that someone must be guilty of a crime because they have a criminal record, even if there's no evidence linking them to the specific crime in question. 2. Believing that a person must be intelligent because they speak multiple languages, even though intelligence and language proficiency are not necessarily connected. 3. Suggesting that a political candidate must be untrustworthy because they're wealthy, implying that wealth is inherently associated with dishonesty. 4. Asserting that a particular diet plan must be effective because a celebrity endorses it, without considering the actual scientific evidence for the diet's effectiveness. 5. Believing that a sports team will definitely win a game because they have a streak right now. So, who is at greater risk of falling for the non-sequitur fallacy? Some research suggests that individuals with lower levels of education and critical thinking skills may be more susceptible to falling for the non-sequitur fallacy. This is because they may have less experience with logical reasoning and the structure of valid arguments, making it more difficult for them to spot when a conclusion doesn't logically follow from the premises. Additionally, people who tend to rely on intuition or emotions rather than analytical thinking might also be at a higher risk of being swayed by a non-sequitur fallacy, especially when it's disguised with emotionally charged language or anecdotes. To avoid falling victim to the non-sequitur fallacy, try these strategies. Always consider the logical structure of an argument. Make sure that the conclusion is a direct result of the premises, and not simply an unrelated statement. Practice critical thinking skills and learn to recognize logical fallacies and biases. Simply knowing that a fallacy or bias exists is one of the best ways to not fall for it. Be aware of your own cognitive biases, and try to approach arguments with an open mind, considering alternative viewpoints and evidence. By keeping the non-sequitur fallacy in mind and following these tips, you'll be better equipped to recognize when an argument doesn't hold up logically, and avoid being swayed by faulty reasoning. So rational rebels, what are your thoughts on this fallacy? Have you or someone you know experienced a similar situation? Share your perspective with the community and in the comments below. Your support is incredibly valuable to us. If you can, please consider making a donation through the PayPal link in the description. Every contribution helps us continue creating content that promotes critical thinking. Thank you for being a part of our mission. Keep your mind sharp, raise your banner with a like, enlist and subscribe to become a rational rebel alike, avoiding all the pitfalls that may come your way. This is Chris from Critical Conditioning, signing off for today.